The 1972 D Washington quarter is a regular-looking coin that many people might think is only worth 25 cents. But some rare versions of this coin have sold for thousands of dollars. One special 1972 D quarter even sold for $3,055. It might sound surprising, but it's true. What makes this coin so valuable is not just its age, but the special errors and mistakes that happened when it was made at the U.S. Mint. This coin was made in Denver, which is why it has a small D mint mark on the front. That mint mark is found just behind George Washington's ponytail. In 1972, more than 300 million of these quarters were made in Denver. Most of them look normal and are only worth face value. But a small number were made with mint errors. These are the coins collectors are looking for because mistakes make them rare and interesting. One of the most valuable types of errors is called a double die. This happens when the machine that makes the coin stamps the design more than once but in slightly different positions. When this happens, the letters or numbers can look like they have a shadow or are printed twice. If you look at the words, Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date, 1972, and see any doubling, that's a good sign you might have a rare coin. Another error is called an off-center strike. This is when the coin wasn't placed correctly in the press, and part of the design ends up missing. The more off-center the coin is, the more valuable it can be, especially if you can still see the date. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a small part of the coin looks like it has a chunk missing from the edge. This happens when the metal sheet used to make the coins was not punched correctly. There are even rarer mistakes, like a coin being made on the wrong metal. For example, a quarter might accidentally be made on a dime-sized piece of metal. These mistakes are very rare, but when they happen, collectors are willing to pay a lot of money, sometimes even thousands of dollars. If you think you have a special 1972 D quarter, you should look at it carefully. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling or other errors. You can also weigh the coin. A regular quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it weighs much less, it might be a rare error coin. If you believe you have something valuable, don't clean it, and consider sending it to a professional grading company. They can tell you if it's real and how much it might be worth. In the end, the 1972 D quarter is a great example of how even everyday coins can be worth big money. All it takes is one rare error to turn a 25-cent coin into a treasure. So always check your spare change. You never know what you might find.